Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's live virtual session. I'm Asmani from People Matters, and I will be your host for the day. In the current changing and challenging business environment, the expectation from HR is a high impact hiring engine. However, as skill demands change in a highly competitive talent market, achieving this outcome is not an easy feat. Various new technologies have been introduced and newer models too, but only a few make the cut as far as delivering true impact to the business is concerned. Digital RPO, with its new ways of working, is one of them. Its impact is undoubtedly growing across the TI landscape, offering a range of benefits from employer branding to improvement in cost to hire. Continuing with our endeavor to provide actionable thoughts to our community, People Matters, in partnership with Tagged, is excited to present this exclusive session, which will explore how to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to talent acquisition with digital RPO. Before I introduce our speakers, a few words about our partner Tagged, who has helped us curate this session. Tagged is a digital recruitment platform that has successfully provided ready to hire talent to over 100 clients in 14 plus sectors by combining the power of human knowledge and data. With a vision to fulfill 1 million jobs through their talent platform by 2025, Tagged strives to connect people, people with companies, and people with opportunities. And now I welcome our experts who have joined us today. We first have with us Gautam Kumar, CHRO and Director People Experience Industrial Region ISEA SAF. Gautam is a highly accomplished and strategic human resource leader with extensive international experience spanning over 2 decades across India, China, Hong Kong, Australia, and Southeast Asia. He is known to have consistently demonstrated his ability to deliver exceptional results in complex global environments. Thank you so much for giving us your time today, Gautam. Welcome to the session.
Thank you, Asmani.
We also have with us Devashish Sharma, founding member and president Tagged. Devashish comes with over 28 years of experience in managing the overall functioning of business process outsourcing. He's a strong advocate of using technology and data driven decision making in HR. Devashish has been instrumental in driving year on year growth, enabling digital recruitment success stories, and ensuring Tagged remains a prominent center of excellence in the field of recruitment. Thank you so much for joining us today, Devashish. Welcome to the session.
Thank you, Asmani, and good afternoon, everyone.
So, before we begin, a very quick note for our attendees today. If you have any questions during the session, please feel free to use the chat window. We'll bring them up towards the end, which is exclusively reserved for audience Q&A. So, keep on posting those questions you have for our speakers. So, now let me start. So, my first question to both our speakers is, what do you think are the top three hiring trends that are in the talent acquisition landscape that are transforming the way companies hire talent today? Gautam, if we can start with you.
So I think
Yeah, thanks for having me. And good afternoon, everyone. Question: what are the top three trend acquisition landscape that is transforming the hiring practices today? Um, in my opinion, I think the top three trends. I will go for an experience. I think if you look at the candidate experience, if you look at the hiring manager experience, and if you look at um, the whole experience set is, I think, transforming with the in the new trend. And the second part is, you know, the way we take decisions. You know, the talent decision, the whole decisional science basis based on the whole analytics on which we base on our decision on talent. I think that's the another trend. And the third piece is about the whole bringing in the whole cultural diversity through the talent acquisition. I think these are the top three trends which I foresee, or which we experience in at SKF right now. And I can talk about, and I'll let Devashish share his thoughts, but um, the whole personalization of the experience when you are doing a talent acquisition. I think that is a cornerstone of the new trend. And if you look at the hiring manager change experience, I think they are experiencing that how, how is the digital RPO, they are transparent and auto running the whole process with a minimal business and HR intervention. And this is led by a strong governance with the digital RPO and the review mechanism. The whole focus on the cycle time reduction, the increase in early fills has really given a lot of space to the hiring manager, and they are changing and experiencing. If you look at our diversity hiring percentage, it's like it has gone by 15% points. We have an access to a larger pool of talent. The digital RPO utilizes the advanced sourcing techniques and technology to tap into the broader talent pool, especially the diverse talent pool. I think that's the trend we are seeing. And if you look at from the candidate change experience perspective, the whole streamlining and improving the candidate experience throughout the recruitment process is that the whole application process is very very user friendly, and the responsiveness and how we communicate promptly with the candidate at every stage, that is changing the experience, giving them a timely feedback, um, and the regular updates to the candidate regardless of the outcome, whether they are in or not. They want to know where are they in the entire process. I think that's changing the experience of the candidate. And of course, the recruiters are also experiencing the change experience, which is about the increased efficiency and access to advanced tools and technology, whether including your applicant tracking system, or they also have an access to the expanded candidate pool, because digital RPO provides an extensive network or a job board or a database, enabling recruiters to tap into the larger talent pool. So, and the last but not the least is the decisional science on taking decisions on the talent acquisition, which is based on the whole data analytics piece, which we are very which comes very handy to us as a leader to take certain talent decision. So that's what I see, those three trends, Asmani.
No, those were some really wonderful points, Gautam. I mean, experience, and you spoke both about the candidate as well as the hiring manager's experience, which is like, both sides of the coin. So it's very important. And I love how you stressed upon diversity in recruitment and the importance of, decision science. So now I'll come to you, Devashish. What are your top three trends?
Thank you, Asmani and Gautam. It's an honor to be speaking with you outside work. So great. So I think you touched it upon so beautifully, Gautam. You spoke about, of course, experience, candidate, hiring manager, recruiter too, which is absolutely amazing. You spoke about diversity, culture. You spoke about data analytics. Absolutely couldn't agree more. And what I will do is my points will either be a superset or a subset of yours, and I'll maybe about slightly broader picture, more global picture with what we see with all our customers. So number one, I think what we hear today as the top three trends is hiring, which is high impact. And of course, Gautam, you are our customer too. So we've heard this from you and from your business leaders. Whether the hiring can be proactive, collaborative, scalable, data driven, and efficient. Um, can we do better forecasting? And your point on data insights comes right there. Uh, does the solution have the ability to absorb market volatility, especially in today's scenario? Can it address the highs, lows, ramp ups, ramp downs? That is one very clear trend. The second one is with this new age world, right? We all know how disruptive Chat GPT and the likes of AI, etc., are in today's workforce and scenarios. So hiring being no exception, the expectation is very clearly, can the fulfillment be on demand? And how does it map against the entire shift in the skills landscape. I'm sure many of us have already seen the tagged Decoding Jobs 2023 report, and Gotham Youth contributed to that too. Uh, a few months ago, we launched that, and then it was echoed in the World Economic Forum report too. That almost about 44% of skills are, in a matter of months, are going to become obsolete, and they're going to be replaced with an absolutely new set of job roles. And the topmost two asks clearly are analytical thinking and creative thinking. So, if these are the two asks, how can this be ingrained into an on-demand kind of a solution? So that is the second. And third, of course, a clear focus on a solution, talent acquisition solution, which focuses on employer brand. And we've had the great opportunity of working with SKF under Gotham's leadership. Can we, especially if the organization is a new entrant in a geography, can we make sure that the employer brand resonates with a very targeted market audience? I think these are the top three: high impact hiring, on demand, and focus on employer brand.
Great points there, Devashish. I think you definitely added more to what Gautam said, and the importance of data is absolutely critical. And you also brought in employer branding, which is such an important part of talent acquisition. And I also love how you spoke about the importance of absorbing market volatility since we are in a very disruptive landscape today. So thank you for sharing those points. Now I'll come to you, Gautam. So you've spoken a little bit about the digital RPO model when you were talking about the hiring trends. So I just wanted to understand what was SKF's vision or the and why SKF decided to move to a digital RPO model, and why was tagged your partner of choice when going to this shift.
Sure, Asmani. And let me take you a little back. When we started the whole transformation at SKF, I think we were in a very tight situation. We had to transform the talent base. We had to, at the same time, be very, very mindful of the cost, the cost arbitrage, because we were going through a COVID period, and that is where the whole transformation started. So cost was a big play in our mind, and at the same time, we had to give the brand and the personalized brand experience. And we also needed to take some tough decisions around talent, whether it was internal and as well as external, where the tag and the whole digital RPO helped us. And at the same time, ensuring the quality talent. So you see, there are multiple variables as an organization we were working on, giving them a good brand experience, personalized experience, um, going with a lot of speed, arbitraging the cost, and ensuring at the same time the high quality, talent. Because and I think what we figured out, that talent was the singular most important lever to add to our competitive advantage. So that was and that will take us from a X revenue base to a Y revenue base. And I think when your entire leadership is aligned around making talent as a fulcrum of the change and transformation, then it required undivided focus. And then we looked at who are the partners then and there at that point in time. I think tag comes with lot of capabilities which we assessed, and at the right, I won't say low cost best, but at the best cost. And that was, so tag had amazing capability on the digital side, and you saw all the trend which Devashish talked about. I think they lead those trends today, and we saw it 3 years back. So that means they were leading, they were ahead of the curve of most of the RPOs at that point in time. And what they said that point in time, they delivered it. And that's why you see, if you look at the results of SKF, the financial result or the people result, we are now one of the best employers. As well as if you look at our If you follow our stock prices, we have almost 3x, triple the stocks in the market, and it is all driven by what decision we took on talent. And so that is where I think the vision was to be how can a talent be a multiplier and enable the business to multiply. I think that was our vision, and I think tagged capability and confidence and the whole integrity, the way tag delivered the result was amazing. And I think it was the foresight of the leaders like Devashish. I think he led the whole transformation for SKF for us, and we worked hand in hand. And it is also about the honesty and commitment with the organization, and all the levers of digitalization, having the full systems and process, and giving that experience that everybody talks. But the whole commitment in the game, bringing that whole commitment and accountability in the game, I think that was very, very infectious, which came along with the entire team and transformed the whole organization. Thank you, Asmani.
I know those were some like really a beautiful way of talking about your partnership with Tag, and I loved how you spoke about there was this one line where you said talent as the fulcrum of change and transformation, and that is so true. So now our audience knows a little bit about SKF's vision and goals when they wanted to use talent to multiply their business, and how Tag supported them through this journey. So now I come to you, Devashish, and I want to understand on a more broader picture, like what makes digital RPO this high impact hiring engine. We've already spoken about that in the beginning, but I want to dive deeper into it. And how does it benefit enterprises, especially today, amidst volatility and this skill shortages that we're facing?
So thank you, Asmani, again. And Gautam, thank you. You have me absolutely humbled. But all that did was we collaborated and we followed your vision and the amazing transformation that you've led SKF from when it entered into our nation and how it spread across Asia. What a fantastic story in the way SKF, whether it's industrial sector, whether it is automotive, whether it is manufacturing, engineering. I mean, the way you are so central to the stories of all of these industries. It's just fantastic. Coming to the two questions that you asked me, and you asked me the question in two parts, of course. Exciting and impact-driven choice, digital RPO. Very quick 4 points to that. Number one, and I'll again call from what Gautam just said and my experience with our journey and transformation at SKF. So when we sat down on the drawing board, what Gautam had said, that Devashish, can we move from our talent acquisition solution from being reactive to predictive? Right now what happens is there's a job description and then the whole process starts after that and we all run behind it. So it's a very reactive. How can we make it very predictive? Number two, is there the best way of bringing a qualified supply? And by that, if, for example, a regular CV is at a 10% data sufficiency, what Gautam said, can we elevate that, bring it to at least a 50% plus, so that decisions made by him, his team, as well as all their business leaders are much faster. So that is number two. Number three was, again, what Gautam spoke about right in the beginning, that how can TAG bring in a lot of data insights, that transparency of the process for very quick decision making. And lastly, again, what Gautam said, the entire experience, right? All three stakeholders. So I think these four things are what helped make it that impact-driven, digital RPO as the impact-driven choice. And benefits out of it very clearly. So I think what we are able to see today is, can we look at a pipeline which has an aggregated view? So what Gautam and his team demand from us is, Devashish, don't, and from my team, is that don't send us candidate profiles in silos. We don't want to look at that. Can we look at an entire gamut range and look at that entire map of pipeline, and then can we take our decisions. So, and of course he also said, can it happen in one click? And the good news is we are getting to the one click. Gautam, you'll soon experience that at SKF, and Tag will bring that to you. That was the first thing. The second one again, how do we attract and retain our current talent, uh, especially the new hires in their early stages? So how does the employer brand echo there? The third benefit, of course, um, how does that better experience for candidates transfer to translate to referrals? Because if half of my job is done, if my current candidates are able to refer through the word of mouth, because they already have experienced this to be a great brand, a great employer brand. And lastly, again, timely insights, and that will help us take decisions even on our current talent. So, for example, if my insights, my data, my reports over my digital solution are able to throw up, um, how and where do we need to focus? What kind of talent is really short in the market? So Gautam and his team will typically make sure to focus on that segment far more. Especially, for example, I know a true case in SKF, when they wanted to move their entire ball bearing solution, Gautam, and from becoming a mere physical product to becoming a solution which includes something like a ball bearing enhanced with Internet of Things. So anyone who's working on that kind of a skill set will obviously be very special in terms of the talent gamut in a SKF story. So these are very clear benefits, four benefits that I would like to call out.
Yeah, and I just want to add here and over here. I think and I was just reflecting, what was the game changing here from a tag perspective? See, people love to talk about future trend and AI and everything, but there are a lot of organizations which forgets the fundamentals of how the hiring happens. I think what I love about tag is keeping the fundamentals intact. You you look into the future, and I'll give you an example. I have a very specific example. See, at today SKF is into major segments. We are into mining, we are into cements, we are into defense, and getting these talent. We are in IoT, manufacturing 4.0. Getting these are niche areas. And what I loved about tag, that investing their resources in building the capability which is customized, which is required and very customized to a particular industry. I've seen, in my experience in 22 years, I've seen RPO how they behave. They will give you a very general talent, live with it. But here we are investing, and there was a co-creation done between both of us. There was investment done on building a recruiter or a resources which is very segment specific. They know the business. Today my recruiters know this business by the back of their hand. And that is what is differentiating. I will say, getting back to the basics is what has created the magic at SKF, while keeping a focus to be ahead of curve. That is of course important, but fundamentals we have not left. I think that is what I experienced it very well with people, with tag.
Absolutely, Gautam. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not sure if Asmani is there, but we have a couple of questions I can see coming up from the audience. Right? It says, how does digital RPO facilitate a seamless integration of technology and human touch in the hiring process? Can I take that question, Gautam?
Sure, please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So when I look at this question, and whoever's asked this question, uh, they've touched a point which it is about to be unveiled in Tag, right? And we've already spent the last year working on this. Can we bring all the four stakeholders, the hiring manager, the recruiter, the candidate, and the subject matter expert, can we bring all four onto one platform? Can we bring and can we take the candidate through a, a journey of ensuring that he or she presents the best version of themselves to the employer? So I believe is going to be revolutionary, and we're going to be unveiling it soon. So that is my answer to how would such a seamless integration of human touch and technology happen? It will be through a platform. There's a second question: how does digital RPO address the challenge of attracting passive candidates in a competitive talent market? The world has moved to, very clear cut definitions of skills and jobs. And that makes our search very, very targeted. All those skills that Gotham spoke of just now have very targeted communities. And what my team does, whether it's the team that works with Gotham or the one at the back end over the platform, uh, they ensure that they are well seeped in and integrated to these communities who are there on our platform. So when we spoke of Internet of Things, or when we spoke of certain other kind of skill sets that Gotham spoke about, there are specific communities where, especially for very niche skills, where candidates are really not looking out. They are the ones who've been there performing very well, very comfortable in their organizations. Those passive candidates being engaged in communities which ignite a lot of passion by conversing with the subject matter experts in their domain. Those are the places that make it very attractive.
Right.
Right, over to you, Asmani.
Yes, okay, great. Thank you, Devashish, for picking up those two audience questions and answering them with so much of insights. Gautam, you've spoken a lot about your partnership with TAG, and I just wanted to maybe dive deeper into that and get some more data insights on your partnership. So could you share more with us on how since shifting to digital RPO, what has been the impact on your organization's hiring agenda? And you've spoken about how talent, helps you stay ahead of the competition. So how does digital RPO help you stay ahead of the competition?
Sure. So let me bring you back to our vision, which we spoke in the beginning of our conversation. What does the drivers of our vision on talent? The number one is having a multidimensional talent, and it is not easy. So the big shift which I see, which Tag has brought in, is in driving the whole multidimensional uh, talent, competencies, or the whole set of talent in the organization. When I say multidimensional, it has, the talent should have an experience of, multiple geographies, different businesses, different value chain of the business, because it is very, very essential to create an organization value. So we do not take talent, um, you know with a singular competency. We see whether the talent has a full value chain experience or not. So that's number one. That is the biggest shift, I think, which we have got from Tag. um, because, let me talk about multidimensional a little bit more. The multidimensional talent enhances our organization, by bringing this diverse expertise. Like, look at my background. I've been with Baxter, which was the medical equipment organization. Then I was with different consumer durable. Then I was with the documentation organization like Xerox. um, they did not want a bearing leader. We needed a multidimensional talent, and it is all driven by our APAC, president and MD, Manish. And so we picked that his vision about having a multidimensional talent, and we worked with Tag and ran with it. The second biggest impact which we have got from Tag is about succession and talent pipeline. We had a very dry succession pipeline in the organization. And when your leader demands that you need a successor with a multidimensional talent, it and then a diverse talent, it makes the whole game very, very challenging. Imagine you are going for after a competent person, you're requiring a niche competency. Then you are saying I need a multidimensional talent which has a full value chain exposure. Then you are saying I need a talent who is not only ready for today, but he's going to fix
Mhm.
the problem or be a leader for tomorrow. It adds to the complexity of hiring. And then you also want a leader who will give a good employer brand experience to their team members. That so leadership, diversity, multidimensional, and succession, I think those are the four big areas of impact. And I'm very proud to tell you this has given us a good rub off on our whole employer brand. We have a good set of diversity talent, we have a good healthy pipeline on succession, we have a good leaders with multidimensional talent at three levels now. We made one level 2 3 years back, but now we have three levels of multidimensional talent. And of course, now we are in a whole journey of training our people leader. How do they have to adapt to a different leadership style to give the SKF brand experience to our people? I think that is the journey we are on to. And uh, and, and I think these are the four areas, which has differentiated SKF with our competition, which has and we don't hire from our competition. We don't want to hire from our competition.
Yeah, that is
We
very
hire from and we hire from in talent we hire from other than a competition, and you can imagine any set of organization. So so that's the good part about it, and that makes SKF today the talent pool which we have amassed. I think we are very proud that it will deliver to our results and the vision of the organization, at the same time giving a good experience to our people. See, it's not everything is about result. How you are respected, how your leaders behave, and how there is a full psychological safety in the organization, that whole safety net, where you want to be just be a part of the organization in the long run. And I think and you make the people loyal. I think loyalty in the long run you will won't see in many organizations. And in SKF, I'm really proud. If you look at my the tenure of people who are here is very high, is very very high, and because they choose to be here. And that is we're very proud of, and it helps us to build a very very strong employer brand. So I think, and when we talk about the journey with TAG, I think that is the result which we have got in last 3 to 4 years with the journey with TAG. Devashish, any thoughts from your side?
No, no, I couldn't agree more. And Gautam, I clearly remember that mandate that because what we start an engagement with is we, in our digital RPO solution, we are able to show a competitor mapping. So Gautam said, Devashish, I don't want to hire from our competition. We want to be better than them. So, can we get skills which would match what we need from across industries? And those are the people we will be able to hone and grow within our culture and within the way we do things. So, precisely, I think it's been such a success story there, Gautam.
Great. Thank you for sharing that, Gaurav, and for diving really deep into the story. And I think you brought up a lot of interesting points in talent acquisition that we don't usually talk about, from the succession planning and from the leadership angle, because like leaders also drive the organization forward. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for adding on to that as well, Devashish. So Devashish, one of the things that I wanted to understand from you is we know about SKF success story, but to our audience here, what would be some recommendations that you would like to share when it comes to successfully implementing and adopting the digital RPO? And we've spoken so much about data, so how can organizations measure the impact as well?
Amazing, amazing. So, we have a traditional RPO, like I said earlier in the previous question, and then we have a digital RPO. And we have various kinds of industries, and it's a diverse population of skill sets and people who work in these industries. Organizations which are IT tech, very quickly the talent there adopts to anything that's there on the mobile phone or on a screen, and they're able to bring all that experience, and are you the UX of whatever is there as a product or a platform is easily consumed by the users. Organizations, manufacturing, engineering, it will require some kind of change management. And I think what the amazing story about SKF and this partnership has been that it has been driven from the top. And I think Gotham, from where he sat, was able to not only influence his entire team, but business and across that, how best can platform digital be used to be able to enhance experience as well as efficiency. So all of the points that Gotham mentioned before, singularly, implementation is easier if it's driven from the top. At times, I know that a push came to a shove by Gotham through to a lot of stakeholders within their organization, but it worked very well. And I think change management has been very, very key. The second one, again, is the mandate of niche skills and passive candidates. Can we get those? Exactly what Gotham said. We don't want to hire from competition. Can we get all of that amazing talent that's there sitting across industry, and can we bring them onto those job roles and hone them within SKF? So I think these two were principal areas which led to a very successful implementation.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. So, Gautam, the next question that I have for you, I would like to pick it up from one of our audience questions on DEI. Since you've spoken a lot about diversity and how digital RPO has contributed to the cultural diversity at SKF, so how does, from your experience, how does digital RPO contribute to building, diverse candidate pools, and at the same time, ensure unbiased hiring decisions for your organization?
I lost you in between. If you can, if
Yeah, yeah. So Gotham, I think
in
Asmani
between,
asked
can
about
you complete your
diversity.
question?
Yeah. So Asmani asked about diversity and inclusion, the context within SKF,
Okay.
and how has digital RPO been able to ensure that the very critical factor of diversity and inclusion is very well honed into the talent supply and the way you hire at SKF. And I can tell you before Gotham starts that for every SLA, I have very, very strong focus on diversity inclusion. In fact, we have quite a clause which is extremely critical to the business metrics at Gotham, what Gotham gives at SKF. So yes, especially gender diversity. So Gotham, over to you. That's the question.
Yes, and thank you, Devashish, for reminding me. So, okay, let me be honest here. Okay. Uh, we are on to our journey on diversity. We are not yet there. Okay.
Yeah,
But the, the intent and the demonstrated behavior of a leader is, I am sure it will make it we will make it happen, and the partners like Tag, we will make it happen. We are on to the journey. We are not yet there. Okay, so that's the first disclosure. We see the reason being because our manufacturing, the space where we are, and that's why we have gone out into multi-industry. We don't have a diversity pool of talent, and we need to recognize that. And if everybody is going to hire from the competition, we are not going to reach a diversity target. We need to bring in talent from across industry setup.
yeah,
And before also, we need to bring, we need to sensitize our people leader. We need to sensitize our recruiters, the hiring manager, the entire organization, to be diversity ready organization, because our target is 35%
yeah,
of the workforce to be diverse, right, by 2025. That's our target. And we are onto the journey. We are not yet there. The second part is, lot of time I hear that, hiring manager coming back and said, are you, and the kind of question, the dilemma they put me in, I will tell you the dilemma. Are you looking for a diversity candidate, or are you looking for a best person wins the job? Which means, you know what they mean. And that is where we have to be little, mindful and wise, that if you have a diversity candidate and if she is ready even 80%, I would suggest go for it. Reason being, we have a very, very strong capability development team. I can scale up that 80% ready candidate to be 120%. And that's why we should go and make and take that risk of bringing in that talent and building that talent where she becomes leader and a capable talent. So it's required a change of mindset, and we are struggling with that right now. I have got a some section of people to partner with me, but the work needs to be done more, because you know when the rubber hits the road, when the leader says, oh, I am missing on to a business, I don't care about your diversity, but I want to ensure that my numbers are meeting. That is the point in time I think we need to be wise and very rounded in our approach. And the decision you take at that point in time will define your whole approach towards diversity, because that is where we all break and we say, okay, let's go and hire whoever you want to hire. And I think that is the point we are working, that no, let's wait, let's take the person who's ready 80%, let's develop them, and then they go for it. The third piece is about, you know if you look at a referral, we give more money to whoever refers diversity candidate. And it's not about the money, it's about getting pride in having a diversity. We have the more communication, which is diversity savvy communication. We are also tying up with different platforms like LinkedIn, and how do we reach out, because people need to aware of that there is a greater workplace in the society, and which they value diversity, and I want to be there. So we are also on the journey of making the potential candidate aware of the greater workplace that they should not miss on while they are evaluating their workplace going forward. So there are multiple dimensions we are working on diversity, because we believe in SKF, diversity brings innovation, it brings creativity. And I have been in a situation where I have changed. I personally did that. I have changed in a particular business. We converted an entire workforce with a female, and that business has given us 120% growth in one of my earlier experiences. So I am very sold out on diversity, and it is not a fad and a fashion for me. It is the bottom
Yeah.
line. You get diversity, you get bottom line. Asmani,
Yeah,
over to you.
absolutely.
Those
I just love that Asmani Gautam. When Gautam said it, gave me goosebumps. That it is not a fad or a fashion. It is the bottom line for Gautam at SKF, and I couldn't agree more. I across our relationships with many customers, and of course SKF, I've heard business coming very often. They're not in, see, they're also caught in their crunches. They're caught with their mandates, business mandates. um, and when TA and HR teams go and say that this is a mandate and we would need whether it's a gender diversity candidate or a LGBTQ or any kind of a diversity candidate, a special needs candidate, uh, they ask exactly that same question. Do you need the best or do you need this? The answer that we need to say is that, see, until unless we don't make a start to make this talent, so you've got to look at the potential, invest in it with just a little bit of effort, and believe me, the results that Gotham spoke of, the function which gave the best efficiency as well as productivity was run by women at SKF. So what a fantastic story.
No, I mean, I think both of you spoke very strongly about the importance of diversity and its impact also on the bottom line. So thank you for sharing that and for actually getting into the
And just
nitty-gritties of
coming
what.
on, sorry, Asmani, and I think what we're doing at Tagged, focus on communities, and we spoke of niche skills. So I won't compartmentalize this as a skill, but I know that my marketing team with our Knowledge Hub team is getting onto our platform an entire community of uh, two or three different diversity segments. Uh, we are trying to hone them. We've tied up with sector skill councils. And very soon, over our platform, we will be able to engage our customers and being able to supply great diversity talent from there.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much for adding that very impactful line there, Devashish.
And just
So,
one, just one more,
yes,
just one more
please.
dimension. I'm sorry to interrupt. You know, while we were facing so much of dilemma, you know, and we had a conversation with the tag team, and Anshuman was there. You know, sometime, we have to train our team also. So sometime there are team who are after the CTQ, and letting go the potential. So you need to really sometime, the newer younger generation talent, they also want to speed up their work and finish their work. They will go for a CTQ and close it. And that is where I think the leaders need to pitch in and say that why looking at more potential, which will help your succession pipeline or future leaders, is more important than going after a CTQ. I don't know the full form of CTQ, I forgot, but
Critical to quality.
basically it's critical to quality. Yeah. And but that is what we have to train our people. It is also our own team who needs, they become, sometimes they become very, very, there's a sense of urgency and closure. I understand it. But that is where you have to be wise. That should I let go the CTQ and go after the potential candidate, or should I stay with CTQ because it is helping me achieve my speed and, or my incentives? Let me put it like that. So that is where you see which team member of yours is taking what kind of wise decision, and you promote them. Uh, so I just wanted to bring that up because it was a very live situation
Absolutely.
for us.
I think driving that
And
change
you can see
within the
that
team
it's not
is
negotiating
hiring.
because he knows what I'm talking about. You can see a grin on his face because he knows what we are talking about, because we have lived through this whole conversation in the last 3 to 4 years.
Absolutely, Gautam. Yes, Asmani. Go ahead.
Yes, no, great. I think seeking potential over CTQ is also going to be one of our great takeaways from this conversation. So before we jump into an audience questions, Devashish, I had one thing that I wanted to learn from you about talent acquisition. So since every partnership is a learning experience, so what are some exciting insights and takeaways that you have learned about the global hiring landscape, and what is that next big thing for talent acquisition?
Fantastic. And no better relationship than the one with SKF, because I know that Gotham and SKF have enormous plans in the way they're diversifying into newer geographies outside India. So I think in the experience of earlier being a traditional RPO and now a digital RPO for quite some time, uh, what I know and my team knows is that one size fits all does not apply. So, what would apply to a geography in, say, Middle East or in Europe or in the North Americas necessarily does not apply to India or to the rest of Asia Pacific. Um, the last mile is always quite different. There are cultural nuances. There's the law of the land. For example, we have GDPR compliance, right? Is my platform tech enabled to that? Language barriers, etc., etc. Uh, even critical to quality parameters for a job description would vary, even within India for that matter, especially in frontline hiring. It varies between what would the candidate what are the mandatory requirements for a job description for a candidate in north versus south versus east versus west. They significantly vary, right? So how do we make sure that that last mile is addressed? So copy paste never works. And in all humility, I know we in India we have some of the largest global brand names in talent acquisition, RPOs, and others who claim to be RPOs. Um, they The reason that tagged is successful today is we understand the last mile. And tomorrow, when we venture into any other geography, we will want to understand the last mile there. Remember, we are a platform that has been created by experts and not vice versa. So we like what Gotham said, those fundamentals he spoke about, right? Understanding the business nuances. When we did the setup and implementation of our solution at SKF, we made sure we understand. It was a journey, but we made sure that whoever is assigned to that project, whoever does that implementation, understands the nuances of the business very well in context of SKF's journey starting in India at that time, and that's what works very well across. So
Like
singular
definitely,
thing
definitely.
is one size fits all doesn't. It has to be the last mile which needs to be addressed.
Yes. No, I 100% agree with you. You know, like no copy paste, understanding the nuances of each industry, each organization. You know, those are the winning factors. So we have like a lot of audience
Global,
questions.
a global product that works local.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
That's the key line.
yeah,
So maybe right now I think it's a good time for us to jump into audience questions since we
yeah.
have quite a lot of them. So so one of the questions that we have is how digital RPO compares to traditional recruitment models in terms of efficiency and ROI. Is that something Devashish or Gautam, who which one of you would like to pick that up?
Sure, I could take that up,
Okay, great.
and of course we have great examples from SKF, but I'll want to talk about uh, the way we have been able to make delta shifts for. I mean, we spoke about over 100 customers, right? And it's been a fantastic learning experience, learning from our customers, the HR and TA teams that we engage with, as well as the business leaders that we work with. And very clearly, I think matrices like cost per hire, time to fill, and quality of hire are the ones which are really measured uh, as a success. And at times, of course, there are direct costs and indirect costs. Uh, how can such a relationship partnership with the digital RPO uh, make sure that an indirect saving happens? How does that experience enhance? All of this translates to so much of efficiency. The fact that we will be able to get better quality candidates would mean we don't need to engage in rehiring every 6 months and getting in. That's all huge expense. If I'm able to make sure that my engaging with my platform over my mobile is able to make life of the hiring manager so much better, and he or she spends far lesser time doing this activity and is able to spend time on their key business KRAs. Obviously, it's a win-win game. I hope I was able to.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, no, completely
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
So, Gautam, since over the course of the conversation, you've spoken a lot about how you involve the entire stakeholders in in this shift to the digital RPO. So, one of our audience questions has been, how can we ensure a seamless partnership between internal HR teams and the RPO provider? So, could you share some, lessons from your experience?
Of course, I think the biggest driver for this is clarity. It's about what are you after, you know, and and once you are clear as a team internally, or first the leader has to clear the people leader. What does he want? How does um, what does he want to achieve? And then that part needs to be made aware to every other leader, uh, because see, end of the day we are all here to do business, right? um, if you can clearly establish that the certain vision of yours is going to multiply the business. I'll give you an example. At SKF, we had a very, when the entire team was setting up, when we did an assessment of our go to market capability, we were not very excited, at that point in time. And when we said that, okay, when we are doing a talent mapping, the prioritization has to be to fix the go to market capability of SKF. And for that, you know, if we need to do a development center and do a changeover of talent, the other leaders really saw the benefit of what the HR leader is saying to multiply its business. So my guidance here is we need to have a clarity of thought of what we're looking for, and we need to have a conviction. We need to be committed to that plan and stay the course once we have decided. I think that is so infectious that internal or external, all the stakeholders gets aligned with that, and then you drive the whole thing. Um, if I have to draw an analogy, I still believe all my SKF talent are tigers. Now the question is, do you want to be a tiger of a circus, or do you want to be a hunter in the jungle? And the demonstrative behavior of both the tigers are very different, but in the DNA they are a tiger, right? What we did in the course of time, we made them hunters who can go out and get what we want out of from the market. You need to do a daily hunting, and that is the rigmarole, or the whole posturing has to happen for our Salesforce transformation. So and that requires some kind of grit, I can tell you. And as I said, it requires clarity, conviction, and a grit, and you have to stay the course to do a changeover. And that is so infectious, it changes the time. It just changes things. So today I'm very proud. We are onto the journey. We all are hunters. We go out and do our hunting and come back home every day. We are
Amazing.
transforming our markets.
Amazing, amazing, Gautam. And I'll just add on, and I recall when we started this partnership a few years ago, and when I remember I and my colleagues in sales, we met Gautam and his team for the first time. He says, Devashish, uh, give me a month or two, and then I will be able to be in a position to. I'm very, very keen, but the only problem is exactly what Gautam said. Let's get into a position that we are able to give you and your team that clarity and that solid foundation to start off. And I think that singularly is so, so very critical because when we did the implementation and setup, the kind of uh, we just were able to dovetail into uh, a very organized, structured knowledge absorption and transfer of the way SKF was envisioned to be. And I think that clarity and that path, that and the vision, and the surety of it is the conviction of it. Exactly, I'm borrowing from Gautam exactly what he said is what has helped this partnership in these many years.
Great. Fantastic, fantastic insights from both of you. I think we're running out of time, so I'll just pick one audience question and then we'll move. I would want both of you to answer those questions. So, the final audience question I'm going to pick is, can you share insights on the scalability of digital RPO, and how does it, accommodate organizations with fluctuating talent needs?
So should I
So
take
I
that?
can go first.
Yeah, please, Gautam.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Gautam,
yeah,
you please.
you
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, no,
Okay.
Gautam, I'll want
So,
to hear from you. We'll want to hear from you. Yeah,
okay.
please go ahead.
See, see, it's a live example, and I was talking to Devashish just last week, that Devashish, enough of India now, and let's do multi-country, because we need help. We need to scale this up. And I'll tell you why I said this to him, because we have a clear strategy. We have a very clear digital platform from Tag, and we have a bunch of talent over here who cannot even only take countries which they reside in, but multi-country, as well as the global talent hiring can be done sitting out of India. So Scalability requires digitalization, it requires clear strategy, it requires innovative talent. And I think we have all three in a condition where we can charge now. Um, so of course, and the fourth, and I'll repeat that, you have to believe in it and that you can do it. Once you have that belief, you see the possible future, we will get there. um, it's like, when you drive a car, you only see a kilometer ahead with your headlight, right? Once you reach that kilometer, you see another kilometer, and that is how we agile we are in our approach of partnership with tag. We take inch by inch, and as we go, we do our best to take the another inch, and then the another inch, and then the another inch, and that's what you see the whole spirit of winning in the tag team or the SKF team. I will hate to say that I know the whole journey. I don't know the journey. I can only take, I can only see where I'm standing today, do a best of the assessment of the economy, my stage of the business where I'm in, the kind of talent I require, and I play the game. And I don't think of, we don't think of outcome, but we play our best game in that perimeter. When enablers are fixed, the result will be very, very different. It's not what you're thinking, it will be very, very different. It multiplies, the result multiplies. So I would say that the team tag, the team SKF is playing the game till the place where they see, and we do the best game, trust me. And then once we achieve that peak, we go for the next one, and then for the next one, and that is how we have been doing it for over last 3 to 4 years. It will be not wise to say that I know the whole journey, because we don't know, and nobody can say it, because every day things are changing in the market. Devashish.
Thank you, Gautam, and I couldn't agree more. And I'm very excited about the proposition of venturing out, Gautam. We've done it successfully in India. Can my team and I, with SKF, translate the success outside? Meaning, can at a click of a button, can I be able to provide to SKF, even in other geographies, pre-qualified candidates who who will be able to take on the gamut of the job description, the work in those newer geographies? And can this also address the ambiguity that Gautam spoke of? We do not know about the future. We do have these plans. We do not absolutely know where, what kind of talent supply will be required. So can I provide some kind of a platform, one click solution, which is can be consumed at will by the hiring manager? uh, could there be a login, for example? Could there be download of these enriched profiles, these pre-qualified profiles, which are almost ready to hire, just need perhaps one interview? uh, so this is the future we are venturing to. We are in the process of getting it done, and I'm very excited. We'll unveil it soon. Uh, and I'll recommend anybody who's in the audience today, or whoever see this webcast later, to do visit the tagged website, www.tagged.in, taggd.in, and you will know what we are talking about. And I'm very excited to be looking forward to this prospect, Gautam, of moving into newer geographies in the future with SKF.
Great, great. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
those
Thank
final words about the scalability of digital RPO. And thank you once again, Gautam and Devashish, for your time and for sharing those wonderful insights. And a big thank you to Tag also for helping us curate this exciting and insightful discussion. And finally, a big thank you to all our attendees for sharing your precious time. It's been a pleasure hosting all of you. I hope all of your answers and queries have been, resolved. But in case, we'll be coming with more sessions with Tag, so please stay tuned. Thank you once again, Gautam and Devashish, and thank you once again, everyone. Have a great day and stay safe.
Thank you, Gautam and Asmani. You were fantastic. You're a rock star. Thank you to People Matters for
you.
curating this together with us. Thank you, Gautam.
Thank,
Bye bye.
thank you, Devashish. Thank you, Asmani. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.